Hello, hello, and welcome to the show. Psychuda is back here with something exciting and wunderbar for you guys. Another adventure in Minecraft. That's right, another adventure in Minecraft. I am trying to get some leaves together here. I've been working on stuff quite a bit off camera. Just kind of things that I know has to be done, and it's going to be very tedious for you to watch. And I'm sticking with my concept of showing you more on camera versus off camera than in previous playthroughs, just simply because of how I want to approach this. There's got to be a cave in here. Oh, big old truck coming by. Where is you? I can hear you. So I intend on continuing with that thought process where I very much will be showing you more on camera and stuff, but certain things that there's going to be a lot of, because I'm going to be basically terraforming entire areas. You don't want to watch that, and I know you don't want to watch that, so I'm not gonna make you live through all of that. Oh, this gets connected to that one. Okay. Well, we know we don't have to do this section. There's a lot of stuff down there. Holy cow. Alright, let's go ahead and block that off. Put a torch on top of it. That way we know we've been there. So it's just one of those things where I want to, try to get some stuff done. Because it's something that I want to do, but I don't want to cause a situation where you guys feel like you've been watching the same thing for 12 episodes now, and quite frankly, you're tired of it, and you don't want to watch it anymore, and I lose you. And that's not what this is about. This is about sharing the experience together. It's about adventuring in Minecraft and building and talking and creating a wunderbar setting for all to enjoy. So I'm going to do my best to do that. That's the plan. That's the skinny. That's the gumption. That's the know-how. I'm filling up my inventory with stuff I didn't really want to do. Oh well. I can't stand leaving the stuff behind. When I see it, I know that people are like, why do you have to have all the coal? And I'm not even fortuning the coal at this point, but, one of these days I'm going to be like, man, I wish I would have gotten some more coal when I had the chance, and I won't know where it is, and I'll be like, aw, man. Well, now I don't have to worry about it. I know that there is no coal there because I got the coal. I got the coal. So, we were working on this tree right over here. We're finishing it up, and I got basically two different concepts in how I've been building these, because the way I have been creating the trees with the lighting, it causes a situation where you end up having quite a few of the leaves despawn on you. And I've been working on different ways to keep that from happening, but unfortunately I've only been able to keep it down to a minimum as far as having leaves despawn. I still am going to have to replace some of the leaves. There's just nothing I can do about it. That's okay, Figuring out how to make this look perfect in my mind is going to cause some issues where things are going to need to be redone, readdressed, etc. If I'm looking to have this perfectly sculpted landscape, then it's going to take some time, and I'll just have to get over the idea of getting things done in a quick, fast pace. And that's the point, is, when I'm not recording for a video, when I'm not getting stuff set up for you guys to see, the hope is I can still be spending some time in here doing things where I don't have to worry about working on something that I think you want to see, or I think would be bad not to show, because then you'll be lost as far as how things are going. Okay, so that tree there has lighting. All of these trees have lighting all the way around, and I'll go over there and show you a little bit more. Essentially, I was just laying out areas that I wanted the trees, trying to get spacing figured out, and every now and then you get one of these honking huge things that you can't do nothing with, but I just go in there and harvest all the leaves out of it and then cut it down to the size I want and just completely remake the tree. So you got these bigger trees here that have this shape where you have a little bit of a X at the top. It's a 3x3 and then elongated 3 on each side, and then from that goes out more. And then you have the smaller ones that's just a 3x3, and then the next step down is 3 out. And all of these are hiding a glowstone. Obviously they're not doing the greatest of jobs of doing it, but the idea behind that is to create ambiance and lighting to keep down the mobs. And in the area that I have done it, it looks very, very good, and I will show you a nighttime view of that at some point during this episode. But we also filled in all of this all the way around there. That one right there is lit up. That one, and there's another one behind there that has some vines on it, are not. And that's because we're going to be changing the way the landscape looks dramatically at some point. We're going to try to keep these grassy areas and swampy areas green as much as we can, and then they're going to kind of be blended into a more conducive situation like the one that is up where the bed is at. I also finished off all of the lining around here, so you can see pumpkins from time to time just kind of poking their heads out, but the lighting situation that I wanted to go with that has been taken care of. This is as far as I've made it with the trees / shrubberies. I'm going to continue that all the way around this lake area, and I also want to probably bring down this and this a little bit more than what they are. They just still seem too steep. I do want to give a very big impression when you come around the corner. If you were to come around this corner in a boat, as it sits now, because this hill is so large, although you can see the stuff coming into it, you don't get a good idea as to what you're getting into when you come around, and then it's just bam in your face. So I'm thinking I'm just going to narrow this up a little bit just to give it a more shallow slope, but that also means I want to implement some trees around this and then around there, and those evergreens over there will be changed up a bit. I might put a light into this one here, right here. That one I will not for sure, and then I might add another tree, but we'll see as we go along with that. Let's go ahead and pop through the portal and take a look down below at this, since it is light, and then we can sleep away the nighttime here. So the only one issue that I have with setting it up the way I have, and I talked about the path that I have laid out in the last episode, and I don't know where the heck this chicken came from. It's not named, so it wasn't something that Waterbear did. Only thing I can figure is maybe a zombie or a baby zombie, a chicken zombie or a pigman zombie spawned. I did watch a pigman actually suffocate on the other side of this portal, like he was stuck in these blocks. I don't know if that was something that came through back and forth or what. 2 witches right there, you see them? Let's see if I can grab them. Way too high. Guess they're not as far away as I thought they were. Oh wow, that was perfect. Oh, come on, come on. There we go. Boom. So, you see how well that's lit up now? And that's just from, you can tell which trees have lights in them. It's all the ones that are lit up, and then the dark ones don't. So think about that. All the way around here you have trees lit up like that. It's going to be a lot of light. It should reduce the amount of mobs considerably. I'm going to continue that through this whole process, and then probably this whole area right here kind of make up like a swampy area. So like that water pool right there, fill it in a little bit like this is and stuff. And just make this really come together as an environment. Bring this hill down a little bit, bring this hill down a little bit. It's going to look beautiful. And then as we go through it, we'll transition into that other landscape concept. So I'll have a really very, very well landscaped and beautiful area to enjoy. So I am over in the area with the cows and sheep, or they used to be, the tree farm area. You can see there's quite a bit that's changed over here as well. Since I'm not going to be using this location per se, I went ahead and scaled this back considerably and just used the resources that were here. And the only thing I kept over here was cows. And the only reason I did that was so that if I was working over here on the trees and stuff, I'd still have a source of food. This is also where my gigantic wheat farm is at, and it's just about ready to harvest. But there was something I had been working on over here as well, and I don't think I'm going to keep it here anymore because it is visible quasi from other areas, especially depending on how many chunks you have loaded. Those of you that will remember when I did pick up carrot and potato, I changed that over there from wheat to that carrot and potato. Now those are all completely grown because of the location they're in. They're loaded quite often, be it if I'm over here or up there. It works out pretty well. But now I'm in a situation where I don't want this anymore. I'm going to take this out so that you can't see that there was this here. I have enough carrots to get me started other places. I have enough potatoes to get me started other places. And I'm not going to need that huge wheat farm over there anymore. So I think I'm going to keep that wheat farm along with the tree farm, because right now it works well with the tree farm. I just go over there and spend, you know, a couple of days in Minecraft working on it, and everything seems to go pretty well for me. Along with that, there is no issues with the mobs because of the way I have it set up. They can't get to me, and it's already well lit up. It's a safe environment to do that in. So I think all I have to do to get this to go back to regular dirt is essentially just take away the water source, and it will start going on its own. I want to say that's correct, but we'll see. I'll trample some of it out and see what happens here. We can come check on that as we're going through. I think I've pulled out all the lights. I just want to scale this back a little bit to make it look a little bit more natural here. And then, since we have this big open area and it did have trees in it, let's just go ahead and throw down a couple trees real quick. Right there, 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 and right there. There we go. Bring it back to nature. We'll come check on this again. I think it will go back. It will go back to dirt since there is no moisture here. It should do it on its own, but I can't remember for sure. Got that taken care of. All right, I'm gonna go over here and harvest the wheat. I just wanted to show you that real quick. See what I've been doing with this over here. I still haven't figured out really what I want to do with the wheat over there. I know that I can implement maybe villagers into that because they will automatic harvest it. It's going to be some research and development on my part to get that to work properly, where that they will actually put it somewhere that I can get it automatically. But I know that there are methods for that work. So alrighty, I got some supplies together and I had a concept here that I want to try out. Essentially, I was thinking that we could make it set up like there was a dock system right here. Since the way I want to go up is through these two trees right here, I want to kind of implement a setup where the dock may have been up higher at some point because the water level has gone down. It has created this situation where the dock is sitting up higher than it should be. I think I want to put it like right here. Let me see here. Can I put these out one more further? I can. Something tells me I want to do this here. So I have a very simple concept in setup here. Obviously, I can't bring a boat up to this dock anymore because the way it's set up and where it is, just not going to happen. But what I'm hoping to be able to do is make it look like the dock has kind of fallen apart at the end here. So we got this set up, and then we're going to pull these guys out, and we're going to bring it down like it's been slowly falling and decaying over time. Let's go ahead and go one more. So we need to have something to set these up against. I'm just going to go ahead and use some dirt. I have a few regular dirt there. Okay. Oops. Trying not to hit the grass. Having a hard time with that though. Let's see here. That is the level I want that at, like so. And like so, and like so. So the way that docks are usually implemented is either they're a hard dock or they're a floating dock. This being the case on how this is set up, don't really have a way to make it look all that correct. So what I'm going to do is kind of make it look like it's fallen down here, and then we're going to implement things that would make sense to this being kind of dilapidated. So I'm going to do something like this and like that, and then I'm going to have this torn out, but have it as such, and then have this kind of fallen apart like so. I'm hoping this gives the effect that this has kind of been here for a while. I also want to do the same over here, like this. So we have this walkway up and everything works the way it should, but it's kind of fallen apart. I'm also going to do something like that, and just have that sitting down there like so, so it kind of just falls down, and then we can start our walkway. So I'm hoping that this gives the impression of a dilapidated, let's go ahead and pull that one off there, a dilapidated dock setup. Now it would work better if we used some wood that made it look like it's been sitting here longer, but the only one that looks like that to me is the acacia, and then you have this orange on top, which means it needs to be capped, and I just don't like doing that, so I'm going to kind of use this as the setup. The other part of this now is I want to make this look like it's a pathway, like it's been used, so we're going to go ahead and replace some of these here with the coarse dirt that can't be it won't grow grass, it won't come back on us, and just kind of randomly place those around what makes sense here. Doesn't have to be too much, just enough to give an idea of a well-used path. Let's see here, probably like one right here would be good, and let's do one right there. So now we're going to be getting rid of a lot of the grass through here because it's traveled so much. The grass doesn't grow too tall, which would make sense in that section. And maybe one right here. What do we think? It looks pretty good. Now I want to make sure that these make sense as well. So we're going to put more lily pads in this area than there should be, just to make sure that we can actually make it across here pretty easily. And that's our basic way up through there. I'm just going to go ahead and put some of these for lighting down again until I figure out exactly what I want to do with that. Maybe I'll be putting in some actual light poles or something like that. Got to figure that out as we go. Now we're into the old road. And the old road is going to be taking place... you know what? I want to put this up one. Let's go ahead and put it just so it's just falling down here. It's going to be taking place with some cobble. So we're done with the wood for the time being. We're going to need some rough dirt. We're going to need some cobble half slabs, some mossy cobble, and we're going to need, let's go ahead and put that there, some gravel. These are the things that I'm hoping to be able to make this, let's go ahead and eat real quick, make this work for us with. That is coarse, right? No, that's regular dirt. We want coarse dirt. Okay. So I have it kind of laid out already that I know where it wants to be. I made my steps already in place as far as where I think things would be there. This would be at the level, so we don't want to mess with that too much. But then I gotta just kind of wind this back and forth around. And I've already decided that I'm going to use 2 of these everywhere that I want to kind of bring things up. I'm going to try to make it look a little bit more random and sparse as I can, but I mean there's only so much I can do about that because I want to be able to have a decent way to get up. I don't want to kind of skimp on these. I want to be able to very easily just come up through and go to the next level. Let's go ahead and do that. See what I'm saying? So like now we have these steps back and forth, so I can stagger them back and forth to kind of give that effect. But I can still only do so much. I want to have 2 next to each other regardless, like that. Okay. So I gave us an idea on that, and then we're going to implement some regular stone, but first I want to do the mossy because I think it's important to implement it, and I want to make sure that it's kind of scattered on its own regard really well and not too overpowering. It can be overused pretty easily, and although it's easier to make now, I don't want to get that feeling that we're using it just because we can all the time. I think that it can still be overused too much, and I don't want that to be the case here. But we want some breakdown. It's important to make things look like they have been very, very worn down if we're going to give that idea of things being there forever. So still another one of those situations where you don't want to overuse too much, and you want to make sure it makes sense. In with the gravel now. The gravel is going to be used the most heavily because it is what we're using for the worn down block. Again, don't want to go too far with it, but we're definitely going to use the heck out of this one, which means I might have to get more, but we'll wait and see what happens here. I hope it's making sense to you guys. I think it's a pretty simple thing to overlook something like this where you can make things look worn down very easily just by taking your time to figure out where things should be placed and how often they should be placed, etc. So like this would be down here. It's a good idea with that. We'll go ahead and place just up here as well. So so we know what we're looking for here. Alright, so we got that in place. Now, seeing a lot of gray, but we have a very defined path coming out of this now, which is what we're looking for ultimately, is to know exactly where we should be traveling, just based off of wear and tear and whatnot. I feel like there should be another one right here. Is it dark time? My head down, I don't even realize what time it's getting. Alright, let's see here. I'm okay with that. I think that'll be alright. Alright, now we're going to go through and just take the coarse dirt and fill everything in on that main line for the path. So we're thinking right here. This probably would be gravel. Like so. And we're just connecting the dots. We're connecting everything together at this point. We're not really concerned about figuring out the blend just yet. We're just making sure the path is fully in. Basic concept of how you want to bring in the different pathing materials. Now we've got this in place and we've got a defined thing. We can come through on the outsides and bring in a little bit more gravel here and there just to kind of help randomize things a bit more. But make sure you're making sense with it. So like a good rule of thumb is if you've got cobble, the next thing next to it would more than likely be gravel. Right? You don't want to go overboard with that, but you do want to try to make sense with it. So we're going to do 2 gravel there. We got 2 pieces of cobble here, so to me that definitely means a gravel. And then we can just put one off right there. Maybe one right there. I don't know about you guys, but I still love the soundtrack for this. We actually just got back from the beach not too long ago. We just went on a little mini vacation, and in order for me to get some decent sleep, I need noise. If I'm listening to, you know, the standard nighttime noises, it's impossible for me to get to sleep with that going on. So I always try to make sure I can play some kind of music or watch television or whatnot. I have my phone with me and basic Wi-Fi service, so I have a playlist of both the Minecraft soundtracks. Along with that, I have I can't remember which one it was. I have one of the other C418s that is on there, and so I was just playing that to try to help me get to sleep. Worked out really well. I thought I was going to get bored of it after a while, but that sure didn't happen. I just love I love it too much, man. Too many good memories. See, this is what you want to avoid, is having a constant. There we go. You don't want the border to be all of the same thing. See how we're going kind of back and forth here? Got to be very careful with that, because it can very easily turn into a situation where you're having nothing but the same stone because you're trying to make it look washed away. Well, that ends up being that the same stone is on the outside all the time, and that is not a good look. It doesn't look right. Implement that pretty good. Okay. And then just to kind of touch it off, you go back through, leaving the green in as best you can. But we're going to bring this overgrown stuff kind of away from it. So like the trail has been overused, I guess is the easiest way to say it. Like so. And then just randomly place a couple of spots here and there. Like that one. And maybe this one here. where stuff is just kind of sitting out further than it really should. But that's because that's where people have been kind of walking and creating this situation where stuff has been off of the beaten path and a little bit further away from the trail type of thing. I think I want to do like that. And then maybe here. There you go. Basic concept of the pathing. I'm going to continue that exact same format that we're doing here all the way up, giving us an easy way to walk up, no jumping, go all the way up and the wind and through there. That will continue on throughout the whole thing, kind of a ruined road feel, and hopefully that you guys will enjoy how that comes out for us. I feel like I want to put right there. I do need to figure out the lighting for this. I think I'm going to do probably some kind of post on lighting on a post or something. I was toying around with the idea of using the concepts that I've been using for the towers, but I just don't like the idea of implementing lights all throughout with that as well. I can do the hidden bush thing and put lights on either side, but that means we have bushes along the pathing throughout the whole thing, and that doesn't make sense to me, because if it's been worn back because people or animals have been using it, then why would there be a bush right next to the road? So the best idea I can come up with is to put in some kind of lighting via lighting posts, or even just a torch, like a tiki torch thing, something along those lines. That's going to be it though for me for this episode. I'm going to continue on working on this off camera as I can, along with implementing more and more of the trees around the swamp area and getting the swamp area taken care of. I don't know exactly what we'll be doing in the next episode, but I hope you join me for it as we continue to create, explore, and talk about life here on another adventure in Minecraft. Thanks for watching, guys.